Hi guys, welcome to Wrestling Retrospective, and in this video I will be doing my SummerSlam 2022 predictions. So first up we have the Judgement Day versus the Mysterios. I personally think the Judgement Day are going to win this one. I feel like they really do need the win here compared to the Mysterios. Over the last few months they've just been losing a lot on television, and I feel like that is not doing them any good, especially after, you know, betraying Edge, getting rid, and then having Balor, I think, lead the group and then them not win at all. It's like, I worry, like I've said in past videos, I worry how they're going to be going down the same line as like the Hardy Family Office on AEW, or like Retribution, just another group that doesn't do anything, seems like a threat, always attacks people but loses on pay-per-view. But also it's been heavily rumoured that either Dominic or Rey Mysterio won't be in the match, and that Edge might take the place, with him kind of been teasing a return more recently. I don't know, I think it would be the better way to do it as far as I don't know, trying to make the match a bit more appealing. Like right now it's one of the matches I'm not that bothered about. Having Edge return during the match might be quite good, but yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm doing it first, just get it out of the way. It's a match I'm not interested in any kind of way, but I do think Judgment Day should and will win this match. Next up is Theory versus Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. I think Bobby Lashley's going to retain the United States Championship in this one. I feel like Theory's been concentrating more on the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns feud than his feud with Bobby Lashley, especially this past week on Raw and SmackDown, where he's pretty much had the crap beaten out of him for a week, which I don't really understand why. I don't know whether it's a kind of, I don't know, I'll address it more in like the main event prediction, but for me, Bobby Lashley should definitely be retaining in this match. I'll be very surprised if Theory wins the title back, especially with him having Money in the Bank. I don't think he really thinks he needs it right now, whereas Bobby does need it. It gives him something to do on television and on pay-per-views, and I really feel like he can elevate the title as well, which would be really good going forward. But yeah, nothing much more to say about that one. Bobby Lashley for the win. After that we have Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. I feel like Pat McAfee's gonna get the win in this one. I think he needs to win after his loss to Vince McMahon at WrestleMania. I feel like this would be a good way to get his kind of win back, in a way, I guess. Also, a loss for Corbin won't hurt him at all, which is always a good situation to be in, I feel like, as like going into a match. But yeah, again, not much more to say about it. Pat McAfee's been on the back foot for like the whole feud. He's always been attacked, but he's cutting brilliant promos afterwards. But yeah, I can definitely see Pat McAfee winning this one. So after that we have Logan Paul versus The Miz. I feel like Logan Paul's going to get the win in this one, literally because it's a celebrity match, and the celebrities more than likely get the win. I know that Paul signed the WWE contract, but I still very much view him as more of a celebrity coming in than someone who's staying around and will go and have feuds with the people. However, yeah, it just makes more sense to have Logan win this one after the turn of Miz at WrestleMania after their tag match. But also, the feud itself has been very good. It's been very comedic, all about Miz's balls. You know, Maurice coming out and defending him as well. It's been very funny. But I think the match itself could be really good. Miz is good in the ring. Logan Paul showed he's also good in the ring. So I feel like this could be kind of a dark horse of match of the night, just as far as expectations from a celebrity coming in level. I feel like Logan Paul's gonna make it 2-2 in his WWE career and kind of see what he goes on to next. Yeah, Logan Paul definitely for the win. So next up we have Seth Rollins versus a possible mystery opponent. It's not been confirmed that Rollins is going to be there, but after Rollins tweeting out about not being on SummerSlam and Triple H responding to it because he's now had a booking, it seems like Seth Rollins is going to be doing something at SummerSlam, and it seems he's going to be putting another mystery opponent matchup similar to his WrestleMania one. However, I don't think it'll be Cody this time. And I know a lot of people have thought it might be Johnny Gargano, it might be Bray Wyatt. Personally, I can't see them happening. Like, I think it's a lot of excitement and speculation with Triple H being in charge of booking. However, I think because Riddle did a kind of, he did a interview, but I can't remember who it was with, where he said Randy Orton will be back sooner rather than later. So I think Randy Orton's coming back to face Rollins in this match because Rollins took out Riddle, so it makes sense in storyline for Randy to come and avenge his friend. Also, I don't think anyone has even thought about Randy coming back, which means the pop for when his music hits will be huge. As I said, I'd love for it to be Johnny Gargano. I'd absolutely love it to be Bray Wyatt, as I'm such a big fan of Bray Wyatt, but I can't see it being them. So my guess, just close out of the air, is Randy Orton. And yeah, I think those two can put on a good match. They always do. But I think if they were to bring Bray back, it ought to be almost like a squash, so Bray can go back to being like a dominant kind of spooky character, you know, how he used to be. And for Gargano, I think Gargano and Rollins could put on an absolute barn burner, probably match of the night. So either way, I think, and it could be someone that no one's even thought about. So I don't know who it's going to be, but I'm really looking forward to it this time. It's not as obvious, like it was obviously going to be Cody at WrestleMania. It's not as obvious who it's going to be this time, and hopefully it is someone really good, and hopefully they do actually do something with Rollins. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. As far as the result goes, I think the mystery opponent will defeat Seth Rollins. I can't see why they bring someone in just to have them lose. So yeah, I'm a mystery opponent for this one, but hopefully it's a really, really good match. So next up we have the Usos versus the Street Profits for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, with Jeff Jarrett as the special guest referee. First of all, I don't think Jeff Jarrett's really going to play much of a part in this match. I feel like he's literally going to call this match down the middle, as he should. I know that he got super kicked by one of the Usos last night on SmackDown, but I think he will call this down the middle. I can't see it being a situation where one team is more in jeopardy because of the special guest referee. I feel like it's going to be called straight down the middle. As for the match itself, it should be absolutely brilliant. Their match at Money in the Bank, though the first half was slow, as soon as it picked up, it was fantastic. So I'm very much looking forward to it in that aspect. The winners, I'm really not sure on this one. It makes sense for the Usos to retain while Roman is still undisputed champion. However, the Street Profits have got so much momentum right now that it makes sense for them to hold the titles. So I think for this one, I'm going to go with the Street Profits on this one to be the new Undisputed Tag Team Champions. As I'm very much looking forward to the match. Very hard to predict who's going to win this one, but I would like to see the Street Profits as champions, and I think that's going to be the case at SummerSlam. So following that, we have Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This one, again, quite hard to predict. A lot of people, and I'm agreeing with them, I can't see Liv Morgan defeating Ronda Rousey clean again. If so, she'd be the first person to pin Ronda twice, which is quite impressive. And it makes sense for them to keep the title on Liv, as, you know, she's so well liked. You know, she's over as fuck. And, you know, a lot of people prefer her as champion than Ronda Rousey. There's also the prospect of Charlotte Flair possibly coming back, maybe costing one of them the match. I know I'm personally, if Charlotte Flair's going to come back, then her costing Ronda the match and then going into a feud without the championship would be my preference, because Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte doesn't need a championship. And it also gives, you know, us a feud for the women that doesn't have a championship, which is always good. You know, I don't see why they don't do it more often, but that's just the case. Hopefully things will change more now that Triple H is in charge, which I'm hoping to do a separate video about Triple H being in charge now and kind of the future of WWE. But that's neither here or there. So again, as I said, very hard to predict. I think I am going to go with Liv Morgan for the win. I feel like she will retain somehow, whether it be through shenanigans or not. Or at least I'm hoping she's going to retain. I really don't want Ronda as champion again, and I think a lot of people would agree with me with that as well. She wasn't a very good champion. She doesn't play babyface very well. She seems to have turned heel for this feud, from what I've seen from her promo from SmackDown. So, I mean, heel Ronda is a lot better, and obviously they're not going to turn Liv heel for this one because everyone just likes her so much, me included. I'm a big fan of Liv Morgan. So yeah, I think Liv Morgan to retain in this one. After that, we have Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship, like a rematch from last year's SummerSlam and from WrestleMania. And yeah, I think this match is going to be really good. I think if they're given time, I know that a lot of people suggested that they might do a kind of turn from last year where Bianca beats Becky in a few seconds. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping they put on a really good match like they did at WrestleMania. But yeah, I can't see Becky Lynch winning this one. I think Bianca Belair is going to retain. I think it's kind of like adding to the storyline of Becky Lynch's downfall, and how all these losses are getting to her. And I think eventually it will turn into a babyface turn for Becky Lynch and people will start getting behind her again. But even though she's still over now anyway, I feel like that's kind of where we're heading with it. As for Belair, I'm not sure who on the roster can take the title off her. It wouldn't surprise me if we kind of had a draft and someone from SmackDown went over there and took it from her. I know that the roster isn't that full of people. I think Rhea Ripley seems to be the person who is prime position to take on Belair and defeat her for the championship. And with her returning this week on Raw, I'm hoping that maybe a Clash at the Castle will get Belair versus Ripley, which I'm more than happy with, being in the UK and all. So yeah, I think Bianca Belair to retain in this one, but I think it'll help both of. I think Becky Lynch will take the loss and it won't hurt her at all. So I think either way, it'll be a win-win for that storyline wise out of this one. Yeah, Belair to retain. And in the main event, we have Roman Reigns defending the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Brock Lesnar. And I feel like Roman Reigns is going to win this one and walk out as champion. I say that because obviously Austin Theory could cash in Money in the Bank. And in my opinion, if he does, it is a complete lose-lose situation if Theory cashes in. You know, either he loses and it kind of wastes Money in the Bank again, which is, though it's been cashed in successfully, it still feels like it's been wasted. Obviously last year on Big E wasn't too bad. The year before we had Otis that had momentum and then completely lost it, and they lost interest in him and they had to change it around. I feel like Money in the Bank isn't as big a deal as it used to be, and it should be. So I'm hoping that Austin Theory and Liv Morgan could have made that happen. Unfortunately, Liv Morgan cashed in on the same night, which I was hoping she wasn't going to do, but she did. Fair enough. So I'm really hoping that Austin Theory doesn't cash in a month after, to be fair, not even a month after getting it. I feel like it will be the wrong decision. But also, if he cashes in and wins, it's a lose because Roman Reigns' title reign ends just like that. And it should be a much bigger deal for Roman losing the championship than as a cash-in attempt by Theory. I'm very much on the train of Cody coming back for the Rumble, winning the Rumble, and taking the titles off Roman at WrestleMania next year. Then Theory can cash in whenever, because I feel like, you know, if he takes them from Cody, not that much big of a deal. But if he loses to Cody again, it doesn't hurt him that much either. I think, as I said, him cashing in would be a terrible idea, and I really would hate it if they did it. As for the match itself, I don't think it will be a finisher fest like people were expecting and like their matches in the past have been. I feel like they are really going to beat the crap out of each other. Now that it might be TV-14, I don't know if it will or not. If it is, I'm hoping for maybe a bit of blood. Especially from Lesnar. Like, as we know, Lesnar can bleed for England if he could, as we've seen in many of his former matches with Roman Reigns. So, but yeah, I feel like it's going to be a good match in case, like, for power moves and just brutality as a whole. But again, it is taking away from the fact how big this year is going to be for SummerSlam. But it doesn't feel as important like a mid-year WrestleMania like it has done before, just because of this main event, because it's been done so many times now. But yeah, I'm hoping it'll be a good match. I'm hoping I'll be proven wrong and that it's an absolutely awesome match. but I'm not that much invested in it. And if Roman Reigns doesn't walk out champion, then a big mistake has been made. So that's why my prediction is Roman Reigns to retain. So those are my predictions for SummerSlam 2022. Do put in the comments down below what your predictions for the pay-per-view is going to be, what sort of premium live event is going to be. As I said during the part of the video, I will be bringing out a video soon about the kind of my thoughts of the future on WWE, with Triple H now being in charge of booking and Vince McMahon retiring and everything like that. I want to give my kind of jump on the trend and making videos about it and give my own thoughts and what I'm hoping to be improved, and just my overall thoughts on what's going to happen really. But for now, please do like the video, comment as I said below what kind of any feedback that I could have, or your predictions of SummerSlam itself. Do subscribe, notify, and put the notification bell on, you know, all the YouTube shtick. And I will see you guys later.